have what, Vengestun, who's mostly a sacrificial support.
Yeah.
And then they'd have what, an AA. Like, how does AA stack well with Viper? Like, okay, you can amplify his magic damage, but his magic damage is only a component of what he's got. It's much more important they get something aggressive that can stop BKBs or initiate before BKBs, and Lion is the hero for that.
Yeah.
So I think Rubik would have been good as well, and that's why NAR banned it. They didn't have any intentions of doing that. They're focusing more on a group up and push when we have a gold advantage, and they did a nice little comeback in the previous game. It wasn't a huge comeback, but it was a pretty moderate comeback, and they did it just by very safe pushing and good positioning, going high ground, backing up when things got a little dicey, and re-engaging again, because, you know, they can keep pushing. If they lose a lot of HP, they've got an Urn and a Dazzle, and now they've got a Witch Doctor as well, so they have a ton of heals. Witch Doctor's going to be able to deal with the Viper pretty well using Maledict, and as long as they don't get Clockwork hookshotted out of position, they should be okay. So once Shadow Fiend's got mech, Gyro's going to get a BKB, and honestly the NAR lineup, if Clock doesn't have a perfect initiation, looks perfect to deal with what Not Today has.
Now we're looking at NAR for their potential off-lane grab. Darkseer is the first thing that bounces out to me. That's still an option that's out there and ready. It was actually banned.
Yeah,
okay,
round.
So what are we looking at? They want to keep going crazy with the minus armor. You can always get a bristle back.
I feel like they have too many tanks for that. Like, Gyrocopter and Shadow Fiend already fill the same role there by being up in front and hitting a building, and then you're talking about clumping. In the previous game, they had one tower hitter, and they had a Quap sitting in the back ready to counter-initiate. If you have too many heroes that go up and hit the buildings, then it's just going to make it a little easier for Clockwork, I feel. So maybe they need some kind of initiating offlane hero like Tide, Centaur is what I'm thinking, but those heroes aren't very good in like a slow siege lineup. It's more, those are more team fight heroes, obviously, or ganking heroes in Centaur's case. So I feel like those aren't quite what they want. They want something else. I think Darkseer would have been fantastic. Helps a lot in the high ground push because he gets a mech or a pipe. Or Force-Staff mech, or Force-Staff pipe is what he got in the last game. Worked out really nicely. But this game, they really just need a Force-Staff, and I think they'll be okay. Force-Staff is going to solve most of their issues. So maybe like a natural Force-Staff carrier in the offlane, can't be Undying. All the common offlaners are gone.
Earth Spirit,
Earthshaker, Darkseer, all gone, Undying. Beastmaster is completely that's a really good idea.
The second like draft series I've gone through and we're like trying to rattle off offlaners, and I forgot about Beastmaster, and then he was picked up in that draft as well, and here he is again. It's really no surprise when you see him. Like, yes, Beastmaster, of course, received all that nice love as of recent from the Great Frog, and you know, with that you get your huge team fight impact. We saw, me and you got to see Team Unknown really do some serious work in the offlane there. With it, when he's able to kind of get that bit of a head start, he really can kind of control the tempo. And of course, it goes without saying, with the birds, the boars, adds extra bit of CS power, great slow, great
really
map
good
control.
At slowing Viper, he's already a slow hero. Put a pig on him or something, and might make him attack it a couple times just to kill it. Slark pickup, I think, is a really good pick here.
It's a Van standard.
That's, yeah, you wrecked with that earlier today. We'll see if he can do it again. Shadow Fiend's decent against the hero, and Beastmaster's as well, but it all comes down to whether or not they can catch him before he goes invisible. And Dazzle, Witch Doctor are going to be pretty worried about this, especially Witch Doctor. He is not a hero that deals with Slark well. At least Dazzle can like Grave and TP or something, but Witch Doctor's got to be worried here.
Yeah, so it's on Van to kind of get that bit of side farm, maybe build into the early Midas, get that mobility tool and start to wreak havoc and take out supports.
Definitely.
But based on Inkling alone, before we get into the match itself, Purge, what do you think? Well, based on drafts, do you have? I have for me personally, a slight nod towards NAR here. But we'll have to see.
If Van doesn't do really well on the Slark, I think it's going to be a NAR advantage for sure. But there's a chance that he can snowball out of control. But even still, it's going to be a little tough to deal survivable damage, because Gyro's still going to pump out a lot of Rocket Barrage. So I guess I would go with NAR as well. Their tri-lane's definitely better. I don't think they'll aggro though, because it would be like a Beast versus Clock, which is decent. But I'm sure NAR. I feel like NAR will just play this safe. I think that's a lot safer way to go for this. Play it safe, farm your lanes. Shadow Fiend will out-farm the Viper easily. Maybe do rotation gank once or twice, and they should be in a good spot.
Wonder if they are still waiting to swap, or if NAR are going to be changing things up here. For now, it looks like Ush is on the Shadow Fiend and Korok is on the Gyro.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's what I figured. I haven't seen Korok play Shadow Fiend that much. Like I said, he plays less of the AFK farmer heroes, more of the do shit heroes. So probably we'll see him get a lot of skill points in Rocket Barrage, and maybe even Homing Missile, and roam around with an SNY. That's my expectation, at least.
Fair enough. And with that, we're going to get underway here for game number 1 of this best-of-2 series. NAR taking on Not Today. NAR sitting at a nice 3-1 record. Not Today currently sporting 1-1. Bit of a pause hiccup at the start, but it looks like we're ready and willing to go here. NAR already in the offlane. They want to establish maybe an early ward to give that extra bit of vision, but they're going to clash early on. Van going to be scouted out from MSS. MSS. Yeah,
tried
MSS.
to get the slow.
Oh, they do get the boar out. Connects
leggy.
once, but he still has that point. Could always go into a desperate pounce to get away. But no blood will be shed. NAR will kind of take over, and they get that ward down. We'll block out the camp and give him that little bit of extra vision to support MSS in his offlane journey. And, of course, shout out to Mr. Modpax. He'll be hanging with us to do the stats.
Wow, Lion has won every single game. That's amazing.
I heard also, did you just read Shadow Fiend is also undefeated?
A lot tweeted about an hour ago, SF 0% win rate, but I haven't.
Oh, 0% win rate.
It was something like that.
Oh.
But I think the hero is definitely decent. He had a positive win rate at the Summit 3.
Oh, he certainly did.
He was at like 54 or something reasonable. Pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a good hero for pushing high ground. Maybe not the safest.
Pretty much since DAC, Shadow Fiend really started to become quite a big deal.
DAC was mostly Yule centered, but
yeah.
Man, how many high ground wards? So many teams are just high grounding ward mid right at the start and just getting dewarded.
Yeah, it's
super significant.
Just shows how much they put into making sure that they could secure a good time in this laning phase.
Oh, he used a tango on that. That was really smart. I forgot you could do that. You can use the tango to eat a ward.
You also get health from it as well.
Yeah, that's
Didn't really need it, but hey, it's a quick and easy way to just rid of a ward in one swift attack.
He doesn't have to worry about aggroing creeps or anything like that. It's just done. Ward's gone, no denying.
That's the first time I've seen that, actually.
Me too.
Live.
I completely forgot about that.
I think everyone forgets about it, even the players. They're like, oh yeah, you can eat it. I would imagine.
Fogged remembers.
Fog knows everything.
SF is actually 0 in America and 5-11 in China, so
not good anywhere.
Maybe the Americans playing a bit weak here. We're going to catch the Lion. Couple right clicks here. Rocket Barrage coming through. Dazzle has heal. Look at that damage output. It's so big. But the cast comes through, bounces really well, and the heal comes as well. This might be a Slark death, actually. Couple more right clicks. One more. That should be it. And a huge first blood there for Narvi. Or NAR, sorry. Excuse me. Different team. Totally different team.
It's okay. It's mixed up. The original NAR did become Narvi, of course, after they were acquired by Navi themselves, so can't blame that.
Rocket Barrage is still good, apparently. That was so much damage.
It's pretty freaking good. I mean, you could dumb down Gyrocopter a bit based on his intel, but he will still be able to do the serious work. The casting point also, it's still out of control, so don't, again, do an isolated matchup with that man. Otherwise, you're going to be getting the back end of a first blood, as we saw there. So, striking first is going to be NAR. That first blood bonus did go to Chad on his Dazzle, which, hey, it's great for support. Secures boots early, maybe an extra ward or so. He's going to be happy with that and help secure this off lane. No, meanwhile, Fog is going to get on the bad end of a magic missile.
Ooh,
nice little cask. But, yeah, Mystic House still trying to catch up. He's running. Here comes Smash, and he's going to get the slow. That means the Earthspike is going to be there. Chad is nearby, but he does not have heal ready to go or Shallow Grave. But that Voodoo Restoration, not going to be enough. They get him down. Rocket on the return, but Korok does not have enough mana to follow with a Rocket Barrage. Smash is going to use the back into that glorious S4 Haste Rune that was gifted to him to head right back to the mid lane. Had that been any other rune, would have been a different story.
I really like the coordination for Not Today. What they did is they both went to stack, and they stacked from similar camps, and as soon as their stack went, they both pulled in the same direction, which allowed them to get to the rune spot about the time that it spawned. So instead of just one hero being there, both of their supports were coordinated and were able to get there. And yeah, they got lucky and got a haste rune, but if they both weren't there in the first place, there would have been a stun ready on Witch Doctor, and he may have been able to escape with it. So that was really cool. A lot of supports don't do this. See, watch what they're doing right now. Same thing. Going to the large camp, going to the medium camp. He actually got here a bit late, the line did, but last time they both ended up running this way back time, and it worked out really nicely.
This lane, I had to say, is going wonderfully right now, at least for NAR. They're able to zone back this Slark. He can't really get too close without getting punished in some sort of way. The supports obviously can't really get involved, so they're on stacking duty. In fact, they're looking to get something else done objective-wise. They smoke up, and we'll see if they're going to turn to bed on the top lane or head towards the mid lane. It seems like it will be the latter. They're going to be creeping in.
It's a pretty good chance, level 2 line, so.
They do have a sentry, but obviously if Ush is a little too far forward, it's not even going to matter. They're going to be able to creep right in from behind, and here it comes. It's trouble. Ush, though, takes the high road here.
He is
trying to step away, but this is just a road to nowhere. He's going to get caught out, tries to go for some insane raises, but not going to be enough. Smash going to get hit pretty damn hard, but he's got plenty of tangos to get himself back into fighting shape. So with that...
That was weird positioning. Yeah. I guess he thought there was a rune top or something. I'm not sure, but... Bit of a mistake. I guess the supports have been in and out. Maybe that was called, maybe it wasn't, but he probably shouldn't have died there, I feel, because they're definitely not pulling, so they were going to gank mid eventually.
Yeah, once those two supports are kind of off the map for a while, kind of make sure you have that communication out there to let them know, hey, they're missing. Look out. We don't have a ward at the top of the river to see these rotations coming. And unfortunately, Ush will pay the price. MSS in this bottom lane. It's been pretty quiet down here in comparison to how everything's been breaking out elsewhere, and he's actually almost level 6 at 4 minutes into this game.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty dang good, and he's got 25 and 6, highest CS in the game. This is a wonderful start for a Beastmaster.
MSS, good player, man. He's getting the slow. She's got 2 pigs as well on the line. The line might be in trouble.
If it's like, I might have to bail him out with some cogs or something, but he's putting the work, Mr. Mojo Storm Stout, man.
The boars do a lot of creep damage because they're piercing, so it's bonus to range creeps and melee creeps, so it's very easy just to last hit with those. He's mostly last hitting with the pigs, probably not even using his heroes, so therefore he has no chance of getting mana drained or disabled or cogged or any of that stuff, so it's a pretty good lane for a Beastmaster.
Certainly is, and there's going to be that level 6. He goes right into the Primal Roar. I'm curious to see how long he wants to wait before, you know, putting it to strong use here, but there's not really anyone else as a comrade to give him that +1. Maybe if the quick rotation from your Shadow Fiend, but he really doesn't want to have to deter from his mid lane quite yet.
That's a good point. There's not really a lot of good high damage dealers that can rotate. Dazzle is not one of them. Witch Doctor maybe, but he doesn't even have Maledict yet. So it's not really an option right now. Unless you find soul support, we're not going to see a kill happen from him.
Typically, like even your Gyro likes to wait to level 6 or 7 before he gets that infamous other side of the world gank, which I've been seeing at least 3 or 4 times today already. So Korok even will need a little bit of that extra time now, just reaching level 4. On the other side, Van now gets a little bit of breathing room, try to build back up. He's about to get level 6 on his Slark as he recovers. 17-4 CH, so it's been a pretty good recovery here for Van on his Slark ever since the the heavy aggression has been pulled back a bit.
He's going to shift in the jungle soon, probably once he hits 6, so that he has some regen options. And once he does do that, he's going to be able to clear the stacks. So,
needs to go. Puts down a pretty aggressive ward. He's hand with Ifrit. That's their first hook shot. Just kind of body bumps with Ush and says, see you later.
But Dazzle's been sitting mid pretty much this whole time, so virtually no chance that Ush ends up dying here. But definitely needs to be careful not to die any more than that first time. 1 death is fine, but any more than that and you're going to get really behind. Obviously his CSing is still very good and he's going to be able to outfarm a Viper. But if Viper ends up getting a fast mech and they start rotating and doing pushes, then NAR might be in some trouble here, especially if their supports are still under level.
MSS might get that 1 solo support pickoff here. Oh, yep, there it is. Primal Roar going to go out. He's got piggies out to play. And it only takes 1 swift move of some axes and they're going to chop him down.
Yep, just had to dodge the Earth Spike, and that was pretty much it. And make sure both boars didn't get stunned. So, nice pick up there by MSS. Hawk scouting out his own jungle, and he picks up the support kill. Really big. He's got 1,000 gold now. Does he rush the Necro 3?
Rush the Blink.
What do you think? Blink is...
We don't see that much anymore in your Beastmaster.
Just Necro 3 is so... It does so much damage on Beastmaster because of the attack speed increase. It's actually really significant. He can solo kill almost anybody once it gets to Necro 3 because it provides damage. The Blink is obviously great to initiate and say, okay, I'm roaring now, but the lineup that Not Today has is maybe not squishy enough for that. Like, if he blinks forward and Slark just dark packs, like, that whole Blink dagger just seems so useless. Whereas, at least, if he gets the Necro 3, you can push with it, you can solo kill in a lot of cases. Like, the Blink doesn't give you quite enough, I feel. I think the Necro 3 rush is really the only way to play Beast right now.
We'll see. That indeed is the case. I certainly agree with it. If he goes extra greedy and goes right for a Midas or something, would that be fun?
No, there's no way. That would be the most ridiculous Beastmaster item.
MSS says, never says no way to me. But he'll get a bottle. Nice little bounty run's going to be picked up for him. Around the bend, go right back to his bottom lane.
Bit of a dive on Shadow Fiend mid. He might not have died. He's going to go try to TP out. There's the Viper Strike as well. Great heal from Dazzle. That's going to save him. No bounces from Cask. And it's a little scary there.
A little scary, but he's fine.
He's got 2 Nether Toxin. There was a chance that he could have killed him there. It was possible, but didn't happen. And Treads with an Aqua on Viper. Pretty standard item build. Nothing weird here. It will be a mech eventually. And what's oh, Slark's been jungling. Okay. He's got his bottle finish. He will bottle crow a bit. Get some jungle camps. Quark's pretty much just been soloing top this whole time.
Yeah, he's still a little behind on the XP, probably because he had to share the lane with Fog for quite a while, but we're still trying to see him to get to that level 6. By the time he reaches that, I'm sure Primal Roar's already back up and ready to go. He could always, head to the other side, and maybe they could pick up a twofer. We'll have to see, but for now, he's still kind of going toe-to-toe with the Slark, working with the best that he can. He's already got his power treads, nearly 1K gold saved up, and there's that rotation. He's going for bottom. With the help of MSS and that Primal Roar, maybe he can make something happen here. He just needs to leech one more CS. There it is. Now he's got the call down ready to work with Purge. Let's see if we're going to have some fireworks.
They're both backing off. Is this smoke coming? It is. Smoke coming. Treads for Smash, and they're actually going to rotate off lane. A little unfortunate here for Korok, especially because he has the carry.
Yep.
I guess this gank is going towards the mid lane, most likely. They're probably going to try to kill the Shadow Fiend. They'll rotate through the jungle and come like this, I assume. If they can land the hook shot, it should be a dead hero.
They're following your line.
He does have a TP though, so they could... Oh no, I'm sorry, Dazzle's not there. Dazzle's on the top lane. Does he have a TP? He does, so he can TP if this does end up happening. And they actually rotate off to kill the jungle instead. They said everybody's missing, jungle instead. And Fog's position here is based on them wrapping around this way, I believe.
Yep.
So he's got a pretty good position for what's
smoke popper.
There's the vision, and hookshot comes. It's going to hit Fog. This is pretty good for them.
Dazzle's coming.
Going to be able to get a kill, I think. Oh, no, big grave heal as well. It looks like Clockwork's going to fall, and Fog is still alive, healing himself up.
Oh, man. Disaster turnaround. There's that TP rotation coming in, saves the day. They would love to get Mizcal as well. MSS, can he reach with the Primal Roar? It's just in range. He stops for the bounty rune. He's like, help me. Oh, sorry. No, he's going to go for it. No.
Oh,
he's not going to do it.
Mana. The magic wand a little bit late there. He needed to hawk first instead of axes. He didn't have enough time for 3 animations, so a bit of a mistake there. But his chances of getting that kill were quite low anyways. And an invis on Slark, he's going to try to snag a kill, but both these guys are pretty tanky. I guess Gyro's pretty low at 600. He didn't actually try to switch to anyone just yet, and that should be him dying. Maybe the Roar comes through, buys him some time. The pushback is so big, and Korok is still alive. That will be Slark going down for sure. What a huge swing there from NAR. Man, that upgraded roar distance, it got buffed recently, and it just pushed the Slark out of the way. He was disabled, super slowed, and he actually didn't even... It just wasted his ultimate.
It just, like, shoved him to, like, on their own as well. So because of that isolation, that rocket barrage was able to just tear them apart.
Yeah, worked out really nice, and they get another big set of kills. Like, small kills like that are so important for the snowball and the scope of the game, and to make matters worse for them, the NAR is pretty much farming every single lane right now. Even the Dazzle hasn't died yet. Really good play out of Chad slash Bleak slash Scott, whatever his real name is.
Slash Fred.
Yeah, could we just pick generic male names that are...
That's it. He's Bob now. Ted.
Ted's doing great.
Bill's great.
Ted.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Nah. No disrespect, of course. We love you, Chad Bleak, Ted, Fred. Well, they're off to a strong start, 5-2. We get an early peek at the net worth, and you can see obviously it's a small swell for NAR, but it's just the start of things to come here. I'm sure Smash looking to work on forward. Will be completing his mech very soon.
Hookshot comes on top.
Oh, they're catching across right here. Cog's going to be there. Chad.
Big heals.
Will he get off the grave? He will. Barely alive. Does he have anywhere to run? He has no mana for a TP.
All right, he's running to creeps. It's pretty smart. Can he juke it?
No. Not happening. If we're able to get the kill, we'll go down. At the same moment, Ush is able to get a pick off on Devan at the top of the river for the 12-minute rune.
That was just Shadow Fiend killing people. Everybody's abilities are not on cooldown. He actually just solo killed the Slark. How is that even possible?
I don't know.
That must have been a huge error from Slark. I can't imagine any way that... Like, the stun from Witch Doctor, not on cooldown. No roar. He actually just triple raised him, I think.
And because they didn't have to use anything, they'll just pop a smoke and come in from behind. This is going to be a big roar. Smash is going to be in trouble. They place down the aggro ward. They're moving on. And rolling on out MSS. But a swap back from Stinger. He's going to get annihilated. Will it be all for nothing, though? Smash trying to run to the south to get away. Van returns, comes back, pounces in. Ush able to get off the Requiem. Still not enough to finish off Smash. A tanky, slow Viper able to inch himself away. Ends up being a 2-man drop as Korok is able to finish off the Lion on the other part of the world. And with that, NAR continue to push ahead. Now 8-3, plus this tier 1 tower is going to be going down.
Clock trying to get a solo kill on bottom. He's got to land the hook. He could get this kill, but it's dangerous.
It is.
He's going to have a full Rocket Barrage and call down. Oh, he doesn't quite have the mana for both. Here's the Rocket looking for the hook. Can he juke it? Rocky grabs it. Battery cell, no cogs though. He's going to run to the creeps, but a great stun from line. That should be it, and Quark does go down.
Oh, here comes Chad. Moving on in. Can he get off? No, he has no poison yet. Oh, but he does have the weave. Pops that out. Ifrit puts himself in his own cogs. Can't really even break out of it. Ush is going to get the easy snap of the raise, and Mystico's going to go down as well. Chad grabs that one. Good job, Bob. And now they're going to be moving for the Tier 1 tower. This is just feeling like a clinic already being put on from NAR in this early game.
Yeah, they're playing very well. It's very not surprising at all that he doesn't have poison yet. The skill is pretty bad before 4. They actually get the slow off on the bench. Can they catch up? Nope. They're going to play it safe, going for the Tier 1 tower instead. Easy tower kill. Mech's up on Shadow Fiend. Black King Bar will be the next destination. And Medallion on Witch Doctor and Urn on Dazzle. They've got all the really good early support items. Yeah, Roshing, consistent pushing. If somebody gets nuked down or almost dies, Grave, send him back, give him the Urn. It's really abusive towards being able to take towers. So their lineup is coming together really well. They won all of their lanes, I feel. I mean, MSS definitely won his lane. He's 3-0-2. Korok's doing great, 2-1-4. Shadow Fiend did get ganked that one time, but a couple more turnarounds gives him a gold advantage, and not today's in a bad spot. The Slark is 0-3. That's the biggest deal here. He is able to farm in the jungle in the meantime, but he wasn't able to get the fast blink dagger like he did earlier today and get a bunch of kills. Instead, they're just going to have to take team fights and somehow win it despite NAR's gold advantage.
Was this just the result of maybe not anticipating the lane setup that Na'Vi put forward? Maybe they were expecting, you know, not the aggro trite lane at the top, but hoping Van would get something easy. Look at him fake it out once. Boom! Okay, Stinger able to get up the magic missile. He's going to run, but you can't hide. That raise is going to snipe him on down. Ush gets a kill, and he is dominating.
The Invisrin?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't think it was just the lane setups. It's more they just didn't play it quite as aggressive. They got a lot of stacks off in anticipation of, I guess, Slark being able to use that later, but maybe they should have been more focused on kills, because while he did get the stacks, it meant that Korok just got a stupid amount of last hits and advantage over the Slark. Like, if you look at their CS right now, despite Korok still setting up ganks in the bot lane, they've got similar CS. And that's all stacks and stuff, and obviously the Slark is a much higher level by 2, but you know, gold is more important right now than experience is.
Certainly is.
These items.
Look at them. They're going right for the high ground. They're going to try to get Not Today to just pull back to their defense, and already the TPs are starting to come in, but they're kind of hiding these TPs in the back. Maybe they can get a jump in coming up from the clockwork and bump them back into the base here. Ifrit's going to go for it. It's going to be on Ush. He's trying to move on forward. We'll keep him inside the cogs, but MSS could turn this right back around. Still has the Primal Roar to go with. They've beat the call down. Ifrit's going to get blown the hell up back into rusted bolts and pieces as NAR go right back into the base to finish what they started. Purge, this could be a quick one. Tier 3 is already going to be going down. NAR are feeling the groove right now, and well, Van gonna make the committed jump onto Korok here, but they still have Chad nearby with the Grave if necessary. They're gonna get onto Korok. They stop him from TPing out, but yeah, that Grave is gonna be there, saves him. He's gonna get the Urn, and he's gonna be able to walk away. Ends up being a 2-for-0 trade and a Tier 3 down in favor for NAR.
And that's what their draft is meant to do. 2 supports that can continuously push. They've got good team fight with the Witch Doctor as well, so as soon as they go aggressive, Clockwork, they just drop the ward and Clockwork blows up. They could even Medallion first to accelerate that damage, and the Graves are just doing insane amount of work here. Their draft has been played really well, I think. Yep. Laning stage started out really nice. A bit of a stun on Slark. He's going to cancel those out. A couple of abilities. Might see a Roar. There's the Roar, and that should be Van dying again. 0-4 for the Slark. Not quite the glory day that he had previously in the game.
And with that, easy Tier 2, a push on forward into the high ground of the mid lane, and a possible Tier 3. Your Slark, Van Slark is out 30 seconds, no buyback. They're going to try to slow him down with the cogs, but they're like, we got business elsewhere. We're going right to the north. We're going to push on in, and we're going to go for the racks. And here they go, already working on down this melee set. Still no Slark in sight. They got 15 seconds to work with here. Ush has a mech still on hand. He's got his BKB at 10 seconds. And there it's going to be used. The Rax goes down, still leaving up the ranged one, but they got what they wanted, and they're going to say peace.
And they're out. So there's another gold advantage, a big tower, or a big Rax kill. I think the melees give like 275 to everybody on your team now.
Yeah, they buffed it like back-to-back patches, I want to say.
Yeah, they did. It's a lot of gold. I'm so happy to kill Raxes now.
You can see it in the frickin' net worth. Jeez. Look at that thing.
It's pretty significant here. So I feel like everybody in NAR is playing really well this game. Consistent, like good plays out of everybody. I haven't really seen many mistakes, if any at all, thus far. It's been pretty good. So Slark's got good items, but relatively, considering he's 0-4, he consistently finds a really good farm when he plays this hero.
And what does Not Today need to do to get themselves back in this game?
Smoke ganks are the solution to losing, always, consistently.
Well, they got the purple stuff.
They did. I feel like they should have done more rotations in the early game, though. They just did that one gank on the SF, and after that, they just kind of stood around. And I feel like they should have continued that. Even, especially against a lineup like NAR's, where they're really good at just ending the game early and doing 5-man. If you get enough gold advantage from ganks, maybe that'll allow your heroes to be individually able to get the ganks off with smoke. The downside is that if you use all your smokes the first 15 minutes, then it really limits your movement in the late game. So that's the hard part there.
Here comes Not Today with that smoke. Almost a desperation move, it feels at this point. Would love to be able to get something successful off this. Can they do it? Stinger out with the wave. Can't quite get the focal point into chat, but Ifrit will. Jumps on in, looking to go for the dazzle, able to get the weave off and the grave onto himself. There goes the primal roar for Van. They're going to get the Slark. He's out immediately, plus the death ward down is going to be able to help finish off Ifrit on his clockwork. 2 already down. Ush is just swaggering himself straight on ahead with that precious DD.
He didn't blink.
Oh, Lion goes down. They scout him on out. Ush is blind sniping, but he's not going to catch Stinger. Would have been a really flashy play, but he actually cut off to the right side instead, and he's going to be able to walk away telling the tale of how his team just all fell down.
So they will continue to push on the bot lane. Next Frax is their site. They did get range barracks on the top lane, by the way, so get more gold going to them. I mean, Smash is doing well here, but he's only been in 2 kills. There's only been 4 kills, but he's only been in 2. Hasn't really been able to leverage. It's one of the downsides of putting Smash on more pushy, tanky hero like Viper is that he can't really do that much flashy stuff, unfortunately for him. And the hero that really needed to perform this game was Slark, like I said at the beginning of the draft. He had to get a decent game. He had to go around solo killing supports if possible, but the supports are almost as farmed as he is at this point.
Yeah, not looking too good for your Slark. And
Dazzle's actually more farmed than Slark is. And Witch Doctor is a mere 60 gold behind. That's a bad spot.
Yes, it is. I mean, you're already looking at a base with a rack set down. Now they're sweeping out. That clears out the last outer tower, and they're coming in from the south now. Looking to breach, looking to put a lid on this game. Van just charges on forward like, it's gonna go. But Ush shrugs it off, pops BKB, and dishes out a huge Requiem to Death Ward. Gonna be down. Cask locking him in place, so it's gonna clean house. 4 quickly go down. Ifrit should be next with that 5-man wipe. They're gonna call GG. They have had enough. They throw in the towel, and Not Today are gonna drop game 1. NAR now improve their record to 4-1 in this TI5 qualifier America.
And people said that it's really important that you get the first seed of your group, so getting a 2-0 here is extremely important. Ush and Korok had a greater net worth than the entirety of NOT, but even before the siege. That was a one-sided game. Their laning stage worked out really nice. They did the aggressive tri-lane. Korok got a ton of last hits. They zoned the Slark out because of their range, and even with the supports rotating off,